I'm jumping in here because these are the ones. Here's quotes. I don't know where this came from. Somebody sent this to me in an email. But she's talking about the Britt Baker tooth and nail match.
I believe this is from the same interview. Big Swole did an interview, and all of these quotes appear to be pulled from that same interview. So now she's talking about the tooth and nail match.
Okay, well, I got this one. Quote, I was the perfect person to turn her, Britt Baker, heel because they didn't trust anybody else to do it because I had the most charisma. I had the most character. It just is what it is. It's just in my nature. It's just me, and this is how I am off screen and on screen. A klutz, I guess. No. So they needed somebody that was going to, one, hold their weight, and I did that and then some because I do my job and I'm accountable. And so the tooth and nail match, she wasn't cleared. I'm going to put quotations up because it was like a gray area. I knew she could do stuff, but she wasn't cleared to have a match yet. But we were able to still do stuff. So we do cinematic. Like this girl, she'd been in business 2 years. She doesn't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch, but we do cinematic.
I wrestle in the Gonzo style.
Yeah. But we couldn't do any of the matches like a real match, and so we're doing this, and they have everything kind of laid out in a sense, and I shit you not, I stopped production because we were in the last scene towards down the hallway before I put the syringe in.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, if you remember, the dentist got shot with the Novocaine and now the syringe was her idea. So I was like, okay, we're going to do this. And I look at Kenny Omega. I was like, because apparently now we have proper evidence to blame Twinkle Toes for some of this because he was there producing this. He actually saw this and thought it would be a good idea for him to air it on television. You remember, that's when I quit watching AEW for like a month.
That's right. Thing. And at the time, I think we only blamed Tony Khan and Jerry Lynn.
Yes. But Kitty Olivier was behind this thing now that we find out by one of the participants' own lips. She says, I look at Kenny. I was like, Kenny, we haven't wrestled. There's no substance to this. This is just, I don't know what this is. This is a trailer at this point, you know, because I couldn't say certain things. I couldn't make fun of her being a dentist and her doctorate because she said that's her real job.
What?
So we had like a mini argument about that because I was like, well, I've been making fun of you being a dentist this whole time. Why stop now? I assume there's something else that Big Swole wasn't getting, some subtle shade of something about this.
I'm trying to think of any time anyone has made fun of her for being a dentist, actually, and I can't think of any specific examples.
Well, she's a heel. They ought to be. Plenty of people made fun of this whole fucking match and everybody involved in it. Anyway, so she continues, but we got to the end and I was like, can we just put a little bit more into this? A little bit more? Please, sir, can I have some more? So I'm like, Kenny and I stopped for, it was like at least 40 minutes to try to put some type of action into it. So that's when we came in, she did the fisherman onto the floor, whatever, and we just started fighting, if that makes sense. No, it doesn't. Until we got pretty much to the end, and it was a long day. It was a really long day. It was a one-day shoot. They spent a day on the worst 10 minutes that's ever been aired on a wrestling program. It was a long one-day shoot at her friend's dentist office that hadn't opened yet. And Big Swole disclosed that the whole tooth and nail match filming experience left a sour taste in her mouth because of the elements that didn't make sense. You think? However, she did describe her joy for the 3 strikes match she had with Diamante, which she declared was her baby. Did we even see this, and would we ever have wanted to?
I'm fairly certain it wasn't on TV. It must have been a YouTube thing.
But anyway, as far as tooth and nail, it was just, I don't know. It leaves a sour taste in my mouth because it wasn't necessarily what I wanted. It wasn't what anybody else wanted either. She said, I didn't have reins over everything or much of anything. So now let's face it, the poorest performer, one of the poorest performers on the female roster, one of the newest members of the wrestling fraternity feels like that she should have control over her gimmick matches that are being presented because elsewise it leaves a sour taste in her. God damn, at this stage, the years, 3-4 years she's been a wrestler. 40 years ago, if you'd been a wrestler for 3 or 4 years, that meant you'd wrestled 7 nights a week for the past 3 or 4 years, and you still shut the fuck up and did what people told you to do. Because you didn't know shit, because it'd only been a few years. But already, she's, along with her good friend Twinkle Toes, and his celebrity agent Howie Feltersnatch, or whatever the fuck, they're producing. They're big-time producers. They're cinematic. This is a byproduct of these fucking clowns being told that all their shit's good, nothing's wrong, oh, they're great, everybody deserves a chance to participate. Fuck.
Do you think she's someone that they should look at with control your narrative? Because she seems like she has all the ideas, she has everything figured out. Maybe she could just control her own narrative.
Well, I actually, they had to change the title of that company to Control Your Reality. And then they can all tell each other, not only are our crackpot ideas, valid, but we're all superstars, even though that almost none of us have ever had a good match or drawn a goddamn dime anywhere, or both.